Good day and welcome to part 2 of our BYOD 2.0 webinar series. My name is Bill Carr. I am the Chief Mobility Architect at Comm Solutions Company, and today I'd like to take a few moments to discuss with you the Aruba Network's Clearpass Access Management System. The one thing that we've found in our early BYOD deployments is there's quite a variety of support for BYOD. Some customers wish to fully embrace the BYOD environment, allowing their users to bring in any type of device and fully support it. We also have customers that, because of security concerns, wish to prohibit and ensure that BYOD devices are not used in certain environments. The Clearpass Access Management System is uniquely positioned to allow us to provide the level of support that you may require, regardless of your posture. The Clearpass Access Management System is an open architecture for BYOD. It is comprised of a central policy manager called Clearpass Policy Manager, which provides authentication and authorization services. We can add on capabilities for onboarding, profiling, OnGuard, and guests. Each of those features will be discussed in a moment, but we wanted to give you a brief overview of those. Onboarding provides guest access and the ability to provision a device to gain access to your secured network and provision things such as passcodes, VPN settings, email, and network security settings. It also allows you to have per device credentials that you can later revoke. The Clearpass profiling module is designed to identify devices in the network to make access decisions. The OnGuard module is similar to a traditional NAC solution, provides health check and remediation for devices that do not meet your health posture requirements. And Clearpass Guest, which provides both self-registered and sponsored guest management. One of the other components of the Clearpass suite is Clearpass Quick Connect, which is a cloud-based service providing the automated configuration of 802.1x settings. These are the modules we discussed, and they currently run on top of Clearpass Policy Manager. Clearpass Guest, as we mentioned, sponsored and self-registered guest services. The OnGuard module for providing health and posture checking. The onboarding module for onboarding devices and provisioning their security and network settings. And the profiling module, which allows us to identify devices and categorize them. This slide is designed to document the Clearpass framework, which allows us to onboard a device using a user-initiated configuration. So we capture the user in a portal page and allow them to go through the process to completely self-provision that device onto your secured network. Once devices are on our network, we can then authenticate the users, link the users and the devices to specific roles, so I can then provide differentiated access to a user using a personal device versus an enterprise-provided device. We can also do health checks and make sure that only devices that meet our security posture, including things such as Windows Firewall, antivirus and anti-spyware, service pack levels, make sure that all those are met before we allow the device to have full network access. We can manage that solution by being able to provide those differentiated privileges from a manager perspective within the Clearpass framework, as well as providing differentiated privileges for network access. We also have the ability to revoke device access for onboarded devices, for credentialed endpoints, and we can then bounce users also from the network. And then from a reporting perspective, we can get a complete view of all of the authentication that's taking place in the network, the health of the devices that are on our network. With the profiling module, we can get an inventory of the different and varying device types that are on our network. We can provide context-based access controls. We can differentiate access based on how is the user entering my network? What type of device are they using? Is it a device that is a known device, or is it an unknown device? And then what role are we going to provide for that user based on credential lookup? So credential lookup is something we can do in the AAA services. We can communicate with Active Directory, LDAP, Kerberos, and we fully support Radius, TACAX Plus, and Radius Change of Authorization, otherwise known as RFC 3576. Those two things together allow us to no longer simply just allow a user on the network because they use the right username and password. we can then get very, very granular and provide different services on the device, the user, and the access method. And this is true regardless of the vendor that provides your network infrastructure. Any manageable switch, any wireless LAN solution will provide us the ability to provide these differentiated services. The profiling module is rather unique as well. Some of the features that Aruba customers may be familiar with on the Aruba mobility controllers include the ability to do device identification through DHCP fingerprinting. We can bring that same feature set to any wireless LAN solution, as well as any wired network, by simply using the profiling module to point DHCP relay information to Policy Manager. That's just one component. So we can actually provide some baseline fingerprinting and event fingerprinting based on DHCP. In addition, we can do active sync, AD, and HTTP header collection and gather information to get very, very granular on what the device is, what version of operating system is it running, what version of the applications are running on it as well. With the OnGuard modules, we can gather the same information from secured devices. And we'll go into detail in a moment on the types of data that we can collect from an OnGuard provided device, secured device. The OnGuard module allows us to do posture assessment and health checks on those devices before they gain access to our network. There are both permanent dissolvable agents for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. And for example, on the Windows side, we can actually look for antivirus, anti-spyware, Windows firewall or firewall services, look for particular registry keys, running services and processes, look for particular Windows hotfixes, and we can allow or disallow access based on the existence of those features. This slide is really meant for us to let folks know who Aruba's wireless NAC solution is. Aruba actually acquired a company known as Venda Networks in December of 2011, and this slide was actually created prior to that acquisition, so you'll notice that Aruba's name is actually in a slightly differing font. We do expect that this is going to quickly drive with Aruba's marketing behind the Venda product line. The Gartner view for next year will probably quickly move both Aruba and Venda into that upper right quadrant. Again, we wanted to just simply identify that on any vendor's network, regardless of whether it's Cisco switching, Brocade switching, HP wireless, Motorola wireless, Juniper SSL VPN, we can do policy enforcement based on what that device allows us to support. So if we can allow or deny a user, we can do permit deny. There are a number of different policy enforcement options using standard radius attributes that we can use and support on your multi-vendor network. So that is a quick overview of the Clearpass solution, and we'd like to thank you for your attention today and hope that you'll continue to see the other videos in our series.